that's it. That's the intro. In today's video, we're going to go over the Shoreline map for Shooter Born in Heaven. Shoreline is definitely one of the harder maps to complete Shooter Born in Heaven on for most people, but this is usually the first map that I complete this quest on due to the fact that I have a lot of areas that have high traffic beginning of the map as well as all throughout the map. So I'm going to show you some of those areas that I start in at the beginning, and we'll move into some other areas for the later portion of the map itself. So firstly, if I do spawn on this side, what I will do is I will go ahead and I will post up right here and kind of just look around. For the most part, there's a spawn directly in front of us as well as multiple spawns to our left. So we want to make sure that we are having maximum coverage on this wide area. And personally, what I do is if I see somebody coming out of the trees, I'll wait till I get probably to about that tree right there until I start shooting, just due to the fact that you're going to have zero coverage and they have to either run back or they have to just continue running if they don't know where you're shooting from. The SKS is perfect for this map if you can put a silencer on it, just because of how silent it is from over 100 meters. The next place that we're going to go is over to the weather station there. The next spot that I'll sit is pretty much any of the perimeter for weather station. And what I mean by perimeter is that you'll see that these are, they have rock ledges here. So I can see pretty far with a 1.6. I don't have to worry too much about where anybody's going to be. I can look down in this area over here. I can look all the way over to the power station. So doesn't really matter. On this side, you pretty much have some really good coverage. I mean, you could technically get anybody trying to snipe over there as well. And then even on the other side, pretty much where we came from, you will have that overlook for the two spawns that are over by this shoreline area where the construction with the blue fence is. The next area we're going to go to is the gas station hill, is what I call it. And none of these are in any particular order. This is just what happens to be the order of my spawn, which was next to Road to Customs. Technically speaking, there are two hills for this gas station. You can use something kind of over here and maybe try and find a bush in that area to try and look across, but that's not really going to be 100 meters. What I'll usually do is I'll come over to these bushes right here along the bridge, especially since now with the 12.7 update, we do have the Sanitar boss. We can definitely use that to our advantage as well. But what I'll usually do is I'll sit down and lay in these bushes. And what you can do is if you get it just right, you can make it so that you don't have the rotation where you can actually look up. You get it just right. It's kind of hard to get, unfortunately. So you might have to try a few times. But you could even just technically crouch in this, and you can just look up all along that hill over there. Personally, I think that hill is a little bit better for you to sit in, and we'll look at that vantage point as well right after this. But I do think that not enough people sit on this side of it, and then you have a lot of high traffic in that area looking over the gas station to get scav kills for some of the other quests. So we're going to head over there and see what that vantage point looks like. So as you can see from over here, you definitely have a very good vantage point to that hill over there, as well as pretty much if you were going to and wanted to, you could go up here and have a vantage point to the hill behind a power station as well, and that is a pretty darn high traffic area when people are trying to go for those scav kills. And that's kind of what you want to have in mind while you're doing this, is where are the scavs and how can I use the scavs to my advantage when trying to kill other PMCs. Because most of the time it's people that are trying to do quests that you're really going to get. And I mean, you can find bushes to lay in, although I do find that sometimes in bushes on this hill, I also get spotted a lot. But you can see I have a pretty good vantage point over here, and I can shoot without them hearing me. So the biggest thing is getting spotted, and that's definitely what you don't want to do. But I do feel that this hill is a pretty high traffic area. And since the next the next sniping area is so close. It's right here. This is the spine rock of Shoreline. You can use just about anywhere on this rock. Preferably you stay in the more dense area, which is over to the left here, but you don't necessarily need to. What I'll kind of do sometimes is I'll sit right down here, and especially now 12.7 we have Sanitar, you're gonna have people coming through here like crazy. So this area is cottages essentially, and then you go up the hill all the way towards the bus station, which is up there. So as you can see, the little bus, so you have a pretty good chance of actually shooting people from this spot, and you can kind of blend in here. And as long as you have a pretty long range scope, I'd say a 1.4 is about what you want for this quest personally. Even maybe a TAC 30. You have pretty great vantage points. And if you want, if you've already checked behind you, which this is a pretty good point to check behind you as well, you can look all over here and you'll see people sniping sniper scav off the top of the power station. So definitely something to look for when you are doing this quest. The last kind of area that I would really recommend is going to be behind the resort, and we're going to head there now. But other than this last area that I'm going to show you, I would just recommend the two roofs really of the resort, west and east wing. Just sit on the two roofs and you'll eventually get somebody. I did actually forget one spot before we head over to behind resort. Right down below towards the spine rock, as you can see the spine rock there, there's this patch of bushes that you can sit into. And with that, if you think somebody's on sniper rock, honestly, there's this really big bush right here next to this tree, and you can literally snipe just about anybody on top of these rocks, and you'll have a pretty good vantage point. You could even lay down and look and get a pretty good vantage point on these rocks. So this is a very nice area as well. I almost forgot to tell you guys about this one. So the last place that I'm going to show you, which is right behind resort, is this rock right here. And you can kind of hit this rock at any real point in the, like, you know, time limit of the match. It's not what I want to say. I want to say something else. But within the time limit of the match, you can hit this rock at just about any time and kind of get people. You're kind of exposed up here, honestly, but you can definitely get quite a few people going over this way, as well as coming into admin building. If you kind of hold right here on the edge, you're definitely exposed here. But what you will see is a lot of people definitely, again, I'm going to keep mentioning this, with the 12.7 update, we got Sanitar. You can see a lot of people come into these rooms to try and get Sanitar or fight other players. Although these rooms are not 100 meters, you can definitely, you know, rotate a little bit and try and get these farther rooms back here, since some of these rooms do have walkthroughs to be able to get, you know, some high tier loot, as well as a lot of people will hold rooms in these areas right here just because they're trying to make it across the sky bridge. You'll see a lot of people kind of hold into these rooms, and you can kind of peek heads on them and just easy 100-meter headshot, boom, done. But that is it. Those are the areas that I personally use for all of my Shoreline Shooter Born in Heaven quest. I finish this again in about 3 to 5 matches. If I'm lucky, I can finish it in 1 to 2. I do want to thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, and don't forget to clap those cheeks on your way out. I'll see you on the next one.